So, you are a beautiful, creative, intelligent, kind-hearted soul. And I know why you clicked on this video, because you want the reassurance that you didn't mess it up with your avoidant ex. And maybe you're scanning through your messages, looking at things that you said, looking at things that you wish you hadn't said, replaying conversations, replaying the times when you didn't know about avoidance, and maybe you could have acted differently if you had known what you know now about avoidance. Maybe it feels like it's all your fault because this person is the way that they are, and if you'd known, then maybe you would have acted differently, right? But remember the truth, that you can't mess it up with the right person. And all of these things that you're doing to try and figure out how to speak to them differently, how to talk to them, how to make them feel safe, all of the videos that you might be watching, honestly, they'll tell you surface level things. They'll tell you little tricks and tips about how to speak to them to get them back. And I know that feels empowering, but how do you really feel in your body when you think about it? Because if you really think about it, you're still anxious, you're still aching, you're still hoping, you're still clinging on to something that makes you feel like you've got to give and give and give, which is what you're used to doing because you're that type of person. You have a big heart and you want to love and you want to make people feel safe, and you especially wanted to make this person feel safe. But the real shift, I promise you, is not in those surface level things. You'll find millions of videos on the internet about that. But the real shift is learning how to date from a different energy altogether, from your confidence, from your trust in yourself, from your knowing. And when you do that, everything feels safer and everyone feels safer around you anyway. And the best thing about it is that you feel safer in relationships. And that is learning to stop abandoning yourself in relationships. And there's a really good reason why you do it. You know, it's from your past. Something happened. You learned this way. You learned this way of being, but we have to undo that so that you can be confident in who you are in relationships, not analyzing every single text, not trying to figure out the perfectly worded thing to say so that they feel okay, not tiptoeing around somebody. Imagine the opposite, right? Imagine getting a text from them and not freaking out and texting all your friends or going, oh my God, she's text or he's text. What do I do? Okay, this is it. This is my chance. I've got to not push them away this time. Imagine not doing that. Imagine going, wow, cool. Yeah, they text. All right. I'll text them back whenever I'm not doing this thing that I'm currently doing. And we'll see how it goes, and we'll see what happens, and we'll see how this person responds, and we'll see where this person is at, and we'll just let it be, and we'll see it for what it is, and we'll let it fold unnaturally. And then imagine the difference when the energy between you is calmer, is easier. And this is not to say that this other person does not need to do work on themselves, right? Because the fact is that if somebody, and this is the second thing that I wanted to say, if somebody in a relationship is not showing up, right, and they are not investing emotionally, they're walking around those conversations that you want to have that could build intimacy, but they're not going right into the middle of it. And you're craving that because you're craving that closeness. You're craving that connection. That's not on you. That's not for you to fix. That's a them thing. That's for them to do, right? You are one person in a two-person dynamic, right? There are two people in this dynamic. So it takes two. And it cannot have been all on you for you to figure this out. There is you and there is them. And they have their responsibility and you have yours. And I know, because I have met so many of my clients who are just like you, that people tend to just really, in this situation, give everything they can. I bet you any money you tried so many times to have the conversations that you wanted to have that you felt could help the relationship. You tried reading books, looking at videos, trying to make it better, trying to do everything you could to make this relationship work, right? That's because you cared. That's because you're a good, loving partner. That's because you were invested. You were committed. What a gift for someone to have. You know, what a gift you are for this person. Now, you have to know that. You have to know that you are lovable and incredible and amazing with or without this person seeing it, with or without them staying. You know, really hold your power within yourself that you know you are good enough. You are more than good enough. And even saying that's very wishy-washy, isn't it? Because you know that on some level, but there's something that's aching in you that makes it feel like you'll only be complete if they were to see it. And it makes you abandon yourself. It makes you feel less than. It makes you feel incomplete. But when you start to come back to you, that changes. That horrible, achy feeling changes. And then you move from staring at your phone, checking your phone every 5 minutes, staying up late at night, analyzing things at 3 a.m, to sleeping well, knowing that things are going to work out exactly as they're meant to, in the perfect timing, exactly as they should, knowing your worth, trusting your value, trusting your words, trusting yourself, and trusting the evolution of this relationship is exactly as it is meant to be for your highest good and for theirs. Exactly right now is where it's supposed to be. So this self-abandonment thing is what I help my clients with. It is the pivotal shift that will change your relationships, right? And you go from chasing to feeling chosen. You go from not feeling safe to knowing who you are in relationships, what you need and what you want. And if that's the shift that you want to have, look at the self-abandonment trap. We've got 5 spaces left. I would love to see you there. And especially if you want to do something different that's not analyzing and thinking about this, if you've got a creative flair, this is especially for you. But even if you don't feel creative, this is great for you too, because I believe everybody's creative and it brings out something very magical in us when we explore that part of us, that side of us. It helps us to feel more connected to ourselves. But I know the thing that you want is just to fix this situation. And do you know what? The magic in doing something for you is that other things fall into place when you do. So if you want any more information about that course, or if you'd like a one-to-one session, or any more information about what I do, you can find out all in the links below. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.